want to take the last half of our presentation here to talk about misinformation about medical marijuana. There's much misinformation out there about cannabis. Perhaps most common is the idea that it's somehow a gateway drug. In defense of this argument, people will cite sourceless statistics that say most hard drug users start with cannabis, that it was somehow responsible for the subsequent hard drug use. A 12-year-old University of Pittsburgh study that followed 214 boys that were tracked from 10 to 22 found that most of the study population began drug use with alcohol or tobacco, not marijuana. This study also suggested that environment was more of a factor in drug abuse than anything else. So what they discovered is that it depends more on the individual than any drug or anything like that. Next, the MPP conducted a study using publicly available data from all such surveys considered statistically valid by the agencies that perform them, and found that in California, which has the longest term, most detailed data available, the number of 9th graders reporting marijuana use in the last 30 days declined by 47% from 1996, when the state's medical marijuana laws passed, to 2006. An analysis commissioned by the California Department of Alcohol and Drug Programs found, so this is a state body once again, no evidence supporting that the passage of Proposition 215 increased marijuana use during this period. So to assert that this is giving the wrong message to kids is simply false, as proven by the study. Many people are concerned that a number of medical marijuana patients are simply recreational users. While we acknowledge this possibility, we have to trust licensed medical doctors to make the right decision for each patient. Abuse is inherent within any system, much like abuse exists with prescription drugs. However, we do not criminalize all prescription drug users because there are a few people not following guidelines, nor do we punish the pharmaceutical companies or pharmacies for supplying the abused drug. We understand that abuse exists, but we're trying to create an environment promoting responsible medicinal use. Another common concern voiced by the opposition is that cannabis is now stronger than ever. Indeed, the cannabis we will be offering is going to be potent and of the best quality. In order for cannabis to be medicinal, it has to be of a certain quality. Better quality and higher potency means that less cannabis needs to be consumed to achieve the desired medicinal effect. Essentially, more potent cannabis is a positive quality and exactly what medical marijuana patients need. Frequently, medical marijuana opponents point to the existence of Marinol, a synthetic version of THC approved by the FDA. The most common downsides to this drug are that it is pure THC and only comes in pill form. One reason cannabis is so effective is that it mixes THC with naturally occurring cannabinoids to produce certain medicinal effects that Marinol cannot replicate because it's only pure THC. Also, because it only comes in pill form, it must be digested in the stomach for approximately an hour before it is effective. Smoked or vaporized cannabis is effective almost immediately. If oral consumption is preferred, edibles can provide both the THC and cannabinoids. People have concerns over the negative health effects of smoking cannabis. These concerns can be averted with the use of a vaporizer or by consuming edibles. Vaporizing gently heats plant matter to the point where the active ingredients and flavors are vaporized but before combustion. The result is a purer, safer vapor without the tar, toxins, and heavy odor associated with traditional smoking. Vaporization is a healthier, cleaner alternative to smoking. So there are indeed alternatives to smoking. Since edibles produce no smoke, they are another alternative. They have none of the risks associated with smoking. Using a vaporizer, consuming an edible eliminates almost all potential negative health risks. Some opponents will latch on to statistics that suggest abuse is on the rise to increase numbers in drug treatment centers for marijuana abuse. Proposition 36, passed in 2000, established a choice for first and second time drug offenders to attend drug treatment in lieu of jail if they plead guilty or no contest to their charges. Therefore, numbers increased because drug offenders were choosing treatment over jail. This suggests that the inflated numbers concerning marijuana abuse are more likely correlated with the desire to avoid jail time. Another baseless assertion made by the opponents of medical marijuana is that cooperatives attract crime and violence. However, there is no credible study confirming a direct link between the existence of cooperatives and a higher crime rate. Cooperatives run the same risk of robbery and theft as any business with anything of value on site. The State Attorney General guidelines mandate that cooperatives provide a high level of security to ensure the safety of our patients. So our site will have multiple cameras, motion detectors, and be conveniently located 2 blocks from the police station. Medical marijuana cooperatives will bring safe local access to medical marijuana patients, tax money to the community, help curb the demand for illegal marijuana distribution, and operate as nonprofit organizations, ensuring maximum public transparency. And if you want to look at all the handouts that we had handed out, all our sources are on there, and everything that we claimed and presented in our presentation has a source, unlike the opposition. They do not have sources, we do.